welcome to a very special edition of The Graduate Show, a graduation special. With me tonight, I'm joined by some very special guests who are going to help make tonight's special really very special. Today is a especially monumental day for us here at The Graduate Show, as it marks the 101st day of the Gregorian calendar year, thus marking the anniversary of the 101st day of 2010. Who'd have thought that was a year ago? It also marks the Tricent Duo Vigintinary of the coronation of King William III and Queen Mary II as sovereigns of Scotland and England. Tonight's edition of The Graduate Show is also the last in the current series. I'm lucky enough to have here an original script from the very first edition of The Graduate Show, and it may surprise some of you to notice how astute witticisms may appear prosthetic in retrospect. Take this for example, letters. Wow, it's really very poignant, certainly worth considering. Well, now it's time to discuss the thorny issue of the alternative vote, which I understand can be a little strenuous and perhaps at times a little uninteresting, almost boring, some might say. But it is not so. I agree, I find the whole subject somewhat confusing. Is it right? Is it wrong? What is it? Do I really care? But David Tennant, Stephen Fry and Ezzy Izzard all support the proposed alternative vote system, so I'm definitely in favour of it. My writers tell me that it's not cost effective, or dramatically different, or nothing more than an avenue for Nick Clegg to look like he's doing something. But hey, these three icons, albeit of an industry that heavily affected by spending cuts, they wouldn't throw their weight behind something politically unsound just to make an anti-governmental statement. So come the referendum, I'll definitely be voting something, or possibly taking a nap. Unless there's a particularly good demonstration march somewhere about something we can all get really angry about, like wind farms. Democrats are and always will be problematic. They can always go on strike. They I don't want to beg at your table. The meek shall inherit the earth. He who laughs longest. The government's probably right. Hello and welcome to Let Me Just Say, the panel show in which some of the country's top politicians and political advisors try to avoid answering any of your questions without so much as a sign of remorse. Points are scored by the contestants' ability to hesitate, deviate, and repeatedly repeat themselves continually. Bonus points are scored for contradictions, with the greatest deviations gaining them tonight's top prize, the Deputy Prime Minister. Joining me in the bickering tonight are astute, talented, skillful player of the game, a man whose radical approach to finance he believes could save Britain's fiasco of an economy, a chartered accountant turned global financial overseas advisor via West Byfleet, Professor William Fraudulent Trustworthy, MP. Hello.
Hello.
Professor, you claim that your patented method of investment, the fraudulent trustworthy technique, is a guaranteed remedy to cure Britain's financial ailments, to stop the need for the unpopular spending cuts.
Yes.
Now, without using any of the words or themes mentioned in the previous statement, discuss whatever pre-prepared answers you have to a fictitious question, regardless of whatever I ask you. Understand?
Yes.
Professor, your time starts now.
Well, let me just say, in response to your previous comments, that of course it is not all doom and gloom. People are seemingly very angry and are looking for somebody to point the finger at and blame, but it's simply not as easy as just pulling a name from a hat and using that as a governmental scapegoat to mask political inadequacies, which is why I believe we were right to go to war. Please, if you would just let me finish. I've worked as a Guardian columnist. I know what it's like. My opinion is fundamentally important. I once read an article in the Daily Mirror. I've been to Basingstoke. It's not easy. Which brings us to the topic of financial security and salvation. Britain is sick. Let's make no bones about it. Britain is sick. Or to use another medical analogy, Britain has a financially upset tummy, the diarrhea of which we see spewing forth as the public spending cuts. To put it another way, there's not very much money, or there is plenty of money, just not necessarily in the correct places. However, the answer really is very simple. To solve all of the world's financial problems, all we have to do is...
Well, I'm sorry, that's just about all we've got time for, as we now have to go over to Jimmy Carr in a wig.
Or with your Ed's balls. Oh, sounds a bit rude.
Very quickly, I have John Prescott here. John, the state of the arts in Britain, and is alternative voting right? Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you there. I don't know how we managed to fit such a small amount of subject matter into an hour's worth of broadcasting, but we now have to take a commercial break.
Economic crisis getting you down? Are you struggling to keep your head above water? Did you quantitatively ease all of your debt into one manageable monthly payment that you can no longer afford? Then you're not alone. Here at cashforprinciples.com, we have the solution for you.
I'm here to tell you how you can make money! Money? Money! Britain! Thousands of people just like you are finding they can no longer afford luxuries like dignities and morals. Cash in your principles now and we will send you the dirty money you so desperately crave. Wow! It's a guaranteed success!
It was really quick and easy. I traded in my dignity and the principles of my constituents and got the cash the next working day.
So what are you waiting for? Phone Cash for Principles now! Cash not guaranteed. Selling stolen principles may affect your personality. Terms and conditions apply. I agree. It's a problematic situation that needs a solution. Social Security was taking money out of the pockets of working Joes like you and me. Well, not anymore. People are wasting money on the arts. Well, what has art, music and theatre and poetry ever done for human civilization? Exactly nothing. Listening to a symphony may be akin to hearing the voice of God, but I've got bills to pay, Minister. Sexual equality? No thanks. Let's change the pension so women get paid less. Grandma's spending all that money on food and heat. Let's just cut the funding to social programmes. She's had her dignity for 80 years now. Come on, Grandma, isn't that enough? Or better yet, send it to us and we'll have her euthanized for free. Still looking after the welfare and standards of the NHS employers? Or just privatise it and let it be somebody else's problem? NHS, what's that? It's just costly, sick people always needing medical attention. And there's always people having babies and other such things. Let's just let them all die on the streets. And remember those kids that you managed to squeeze out? If you're not content with having abolished free education already, why not make them pay even more? Yes, it's really that simple. So, okay, it's fine to make these little tweaks to public spending, because other countries screw their citizens over far worse than we do here. So, yes, it's a step backwards, but we're still a little bit better than America. England, if we mortgage our children's future, sell our souls, and forget our principles, we can survive this economic crisis, even if we can't live with ourselves afterwards. Social mobility time now, because in a stark revelation this week, it's apparently not what you know, but who you know. Oh, that sound means there's just about all we've got time for here at the Graduate Show, so, well, my friends, I guess this is the end. It's not goodbye, just adieu for now. And don't think, people in the world of news, that you can get away with slipping by an inappropriate law or a careless slip of the tongue without being fictitiously satirised just because we're off air. We could always return and make Series 2. And you wouldn't want that now, would you? Good night!